All right, guys, we are doing a leg and lower back routine today. I'm gonna keep the timer for you. We're gonna start out in a tall saddle. That's something I'm not good at. Maybe encourage you if you have some mobility issues. All right, so once you get into position here, we're gonna hold this for 2 minutes. I don't have any trippy yoga music in the background. That will be coming in future videos. What we're gonna focus on here is feeling it in the quads, sitting back toward the ankles. And throughout the routine, try to breathe only through your nose if you can. And our breathing cadence for today is gonna be 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. So I'll count with you for a round here. If you're into position, 2 minutes starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should feel tension and activation in the quads. We don't want to go anywhere forcing range of motion. We don't want to go anywhere that's painful, but we are going to be practicing through these routines, being comfortable while uncomfortable. So it helps, if you've never done any of these types of videos before, is to think about softening rather than tensing and fighting it. The more you sit back with your butt over your heels, the better the stretch. And at any time, if you need to, you can come out of any pose, take a break, shake it out, and go right back. So some poses are going to be harder than others to hold the breathing count, but for now, you should be able to hold 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. If that's too much, go to 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. Breathing through the nose and holding your breathing cadence, especially when uncomfortable, is what's going to give you the biggest benefits of this. One more breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. A little achy. This is gonna be our warm-up. I'll keep you posted more on the times as we go through these. So our next one's gonna be a tall dragon pose. Back foot's flat on the floor, hips are squared straight ahead, front leg's at about a 90. As you slip deeper into this pose, your hips are gonna go more toward the ground. You can move your back foot back, front leg forward, or a combination to deepen the stretch. So the timer starts now, and we're gonna hold 2 minutes here. Over time, as you may or may not know, long held static stretches are gonna strengthen the joints inside of the joints, increase range of motion, and the better you stick with the breathing cadence, it's gonna activate your parasympathetic nervous system, meaning help your body switch off. These videos are best done at night. It's gonna aid in recovery, sleep quality, and if you stay consistent with it over time, increase your range of motion, allowing you to be stronger in a longer range of motion. This one you should be feeling in the back leg, quad, hip, side of the hip and the glute here. This side's tighter for me than the other. You'll also feel it in the bottom of the front leg and the hamstring. So we're at a minute right now. Continue with your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counting on your own in your head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In and out. We've got 30 seconds left here. Trying to keep the chest tall. We're going to move to the next side on this same pose. actually cancel that, we're not. But if you ever need a break, you can put the hands on the front leg to give you some support. Hands by the sides will give you the deepest stretch. We have 15 seconds left here. So if it's uncomfortable and you're sinking into a deeper range of motion, remember to rely on that breathing. Breathe your way through the uncomfortableness. Okay, and then we're gonna come out of every pose slowly. In this case, just get a little stretch, shake it out, and we're gonna come back into the same leg position, but with a lizard pose. So go ahead and get there. 2 minutes starts now. On the lizard pose, it's okay to round the lower back. We're not trying to keep our back straight like a lifting motion like we do in our squats and deadlifts. It's okay to round the lower back. Common mistake here is to want to get fancy and drop this left hip down to get the arms on the floor. The key here is to keep the hips in the same squared up position as you bring the arms down on the inside of the leg. And if I don't drop this hip down excessively, let gravity do its job, over time, you're gonna sink into each pose. On this pose, I'll move my left hand out if I'm staying in it long enough to really work down, ease down into the position. We don't force or work our way down. We just let gravity do its job. You will find yourself getting further into the pose toward the end of the time than when you started. Key is going to be softening, not actively tensing and fighting the tension. We're a little under a minute left on this side. Your breathing count, if you want to practice it again with me, is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out. That might be actually 6 seconds, but somewhere between 4 and 6. The key is going to be to have the same length for your inhale and your exhale. And we've got 20 seconds left here. Remember that you don't have to reach the maximum, most uncomfortable depth to get the benefits of the stretch. Okay, we're going to come out of every pose nice and easy. And we're going to go ahead and bring it down for a minute to child's pose. Sitting back with the butt over the feet, getting a good stretch in the lats, bringing the chest and the head, forehead down toward the ground. Guys, and we're going to come out of the child's pose, sit up on our left side for our dragon. Again, front leg's going to be forward at about a 90-degree angle. Hips are going to stay squared straight ahead, hips and shoulders. I'm going to move the back leg, the back knee back further to get a deeper stretch. Or in this case, if your bed's in the way, we're going to move that front leg a little forward. Timer starts now. We've got 2 minutes here. Keeping the chest tall is the key on this one. If you continue to break, stabilizers are getting tired. If you don't quite have the endurance to do 2 minutes straight up, rather than lean the chest down, just rest your hands on your knees, give yourself a break. The deepest stretch is going to be to surrender to the pose over time. As my favorite mobility app, Ramwad, used to say. It's got a different name now. Should be feeling a good stretch, inner thigh, hip flexor and quad on the back leg, hamstring on the front. Breathing through any uncomfortable periods, remembering to take a break from any pose that gets to be too much. take a break, shake it out, rejoin at any time, pause the video, whatever you like. So we're at a minute into this one. And you can see me wobbling a little bit. Stability will be the big issue when you're first getting used to doing this one for longer periods. Seconds left. Enjoy being slightly uncomfortable, moderately uncomfortable. Know that this is going to yield great benefits in recovery and training. Developmental strength it's going to carry into your workouts. I guarantee it if you practice this consistently. 10 seconds left. Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can take a break, come back to the runner stretch position, rock back and forth, shake out whatever you need to. And we're gonna come into our lizard pose. Same legs set up, hands to the inside. Biggest thing is keeping the hips squared and not dropping the right hip down to the ground to get depth. If you can keep the hips squared with a great stretch, timer starts now, by the way, 2 minutes. And you can bring the forearms both down, outstanding. If it's too hard to get the forearms all the way down, lower back's tight like mine is a little bit, this is still a phenomenal stretch. Remember to let the lower back curve and round, that's totally fine. And we're 30 seconds in. Making any adjustments as you go, as you start to sink deeper into the poses. I also put a little bit of tension, whether with the arm or just pushing, because I'm used to doing it, but I push this front knee slightly out. You'll notice will give you a little bit better stretch. And trust that gravity is going to do its job. Over time, you're going to be able to surrender the poses more and more. We're just trying to get comfortable doing this regularly right now. Consistency is key. We're not going to accomplish any new range of motion in one day or 1 week, but you will notice over time, especially if you've done this before, how much better you sleep, recover, how much better you are controlling your breathing and workouts. We're coming up on 30 seconds left. Breathing in and out, same pace. Breathing in and out, and in, and out. "15 seconds left. Try to keep the breathing through the nose only if you can. If not, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Awesome. Coming out of each pose slowly, especially if you're feeling a big stretch in that hip flexor and front quad. All right, we're gonna take another 2-minute saddle. Timer starts now. Keep your 5 seconds in and out if that's comfortable for you. This one can be done with the knees flared out a little or more straight ahead, it's your preference. If your mobility is so good that you're sitting on your heels right now and this isn't a stretch at all, go ahead and move into your full saddle. This is usually easier if you open the knees apart a little, but feel free to go full saddle here. Great quad stretch, especially after a squat day. Also gonna work on the ankle mobility. Keeping the chest vertical will be the best stretch if you need a break or if you're getting too uncomfortable. It's just as simple as leaning forward. But I know in my CrossFit days, I noticed that the better I practice the breathing cadences, I used the Ron Watt app for about 2 years, at least 1 year of it being almost 6 days a week. And I noticed the skill I developed was that I was much better at managing my breathing with an extremely high heart rate during WODs. Okay guys, about 30 seconds left here. Okay, time. Our last stretch for this routine is going to be to target the adductors, the inner thighs. So we're going to come down into our frog pose. Your 2 options for the frog pose are going to be to keep the feet straight behind you. Sorry, the shins straight behind you with the legs flared out, or to bring them in. Either way, it's your preference. So we're gonna set up for that. I do the option where I put the feet straight back. Find it makes it a little more challenging for me. Also, go ahead and start the timer now. We're doing 4 minutes here. This is gonna take us all the way to the end of our routine. If you wanna do the rebound at the end, that's optional, but this will give you 20 minutes total of listening to me yap. The key on this pose, bringing the chest down to the ground, but if you really want to push it over time, as you're comfortable, put a little pressure with your upper body back, sit back. And you'll find that the more you push the hips back, you'll really feel that stretch in the inner thighs. All right, so I kind of forgot when we started this one, but tell you what, we're gonna do 3 minutes from now. I'm gonna stop talking for the rest of this time. Practice your breathing. The key is the same time in and the same time out. Coming up on halfway, 1.5 minutes left. last time. Remember to come out of the poses slowly. And go ahead and lie down for the rebound. Rebound is simply lying down and enjoying the feeling of not being in a deep stretch. Spend 2 to 4 minutes here, enjoying just being able to do nothing, not think, not plan. If you want to practice some meditation and some breathing control further, you can do twice as long on your exhale as your inhale. This also works great for right after a workout, 2 to 4 minutes. I'll breathe in for 3 seconds and out for 6. And I'll hold that for about half the time, and then I'll let the breathing go to normal. It's another nice hack to switch that parasympathetic nervous system on. Continue to rebound as long as you like. Stay consistent.